gather around the table once again for another session of Dungeons and Drakfus. And today we're going to be taking on the third and final wing, at least dungeons, for Tempest Keep. But first, people might remember that the reason I started up the first two was to actually assemble key fragments for the third. So here I am in Shatrath to turn in the quest to Udal, and that's where we're going to start things off today. Let's go ahead and turn this in. How to break into the Arcatraz. Udal's voice vibrates melodically through your mind. You have returned. Did you bring with you the 2 shards of the Arcatraz key? Yes, I did. I am impressed, Drakfu. Though I should expect nothing less of the hero who returned the Atamal crystal to us. Give over the 2 shards, and I will see to it that they are combined into their final form. Then you will have access to the Arcatraz. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this in. Now, people might notice that Khadgar has quests. We don't need to take care of them just yet. But that actually opens up the Arcatraz. Now, technically, the Arcatraz is open anyway, but I didn't want to showcase this because back in the day, this was the only normal dungeon you had to get some kind of attunement, at least as far as keys were concerned. Granted, for the Tempest Keep instances, you at least needed flight, but this one, you actually needed a key. Now, I'm going to go ahead and magic cut really quick while we fly back to Tempest Keep. Okay, and we are here at the Arcatraz, so now people might be wondering, why did you have to get a key for it? Well, it's a prison. I know some people are like, really? It's a prison? Yes, it is. And if you don't believe me, here is the Wowpedia excerpt. The Arcatraz is the third wing of Tempest Keep, the Tempest Keep instance, and is a prison where the Naru jailed the most terrifying and dangerous creatures they encountered on their journeys. Among the inmates of the Arcatraz are agents of the Black Dragon Flight, demons of the Burning Legion, and even servants of the mighty old gods. When Kael'thas and his followers took the keep, he sent a warden and guards to the Arcatraz. Kael's blood elves, however, were corruptible, and the prisoners have begun to break free. So you're basically dealing with this prison revolt, after they took over the Arcatraz. So you don't need the key anymore. You could technically just open this up, but this would be borrowing your path from doing the Arcatraz. And I remember, people don't like the Arcatraz. It's considered one of the hardest in both normal and heroic. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to come into the comments and say, no, I love Arcatraz. It's great. And I like it too, but it was hard back in the day. Oh, we have a quest. Unbound Darkness. The sound of chimes enter your head, but it is distressed. We imprisoned the most dangerous beings we came across in our travels. Zaraketh is a powerful Void Lord. If he escapes into Netherstorm, he will feed off the abundant Void energy. Alright, so Udal will be giving us quests in here as well. And already we start off with a prison revolt where we can take care of the Blood Elves, but if we do, well, they're being wiped out by these big fiends. So that's something we have to worry about now. That's okay, though. We'll just go ahead and step into the Arcatraz. So again, this is a prison. Pretty much the equivalent of a Naru maximum security prison, where some of the nastiest prospects in the universe were being housed. Oh, okay. I think you actually have to take out the Blood Elves to get the waves to stop, but that's okay. Boom! We don't necessarily care about these guys, because we're making our way to the first... Oh, and look at this. So there are Blood Elf corpses all over the place, and they are infested, so we will have to keep watch on that. If you get too close, then the worms will come out. And here is the first boss room for Zaraketh the Unbound. But first, we're going to take care of all the trash in the area. It's kind of a pain to deal with. There we go. And we're going to take care of this dog as well. If you want to call it that. Okay, so here is the first boss of the Arcatraz. We're going to go into the lore of it really quick as soon as I kill that guy. So here we go, the Arcatraz. Zaraketh the Unbound. Most creatures from the Twisting Nether require constant directions from their masters, but a select few void wraiths need no such orders. Zaraketh stands at the entrance to Arcatraz, ready to slay all who would dare challenge him. So we are going to be taking on Zaraketh the Unbound, a Void Wraith. There we go. And he is now dead, and Udalo is now communicating with us again. Creatures of the void are naturally chaotic. They are a necessary part of the universe, but they must be kept in check by the light. And the next quest. Hey there, Dahlia. Two powerful agents of the Burning Legion, Wrathscryer Socrates and Dahlia the Doomsayer, have begun rallying the demons on board together into a small army. You cannot let their forces grow any larger, or the Arcatraz may soon become yet another Legion stronghold. Yep, so we went from dealing with Void Horrors to the Burning Legion. Everything is in here. What on earth were you thinking, Naru? Well, actually, here's the thing. The facility was secure until the Blood Elves got here. And that's when the proverbial crap hit the fan. Let's go ahead and move on into the next room, where we have even more Void Wraiths. And actually, fun fact, so that little jar off in the distance, this was technically... it wasn't necessarily the first key fragment you could get for the Kael'thas key. It was one of them. Because the first quest that you get actually takes you to both the Steam Vault and the Arcatraz. And all you had to do was get as far as the first boss. People might remember that from my Steam Vaults video. All you had to do was beat the first boss, and then you could do the key fragment there. Same thing here. All you had to do was kill Zaraketh, and then you could get the fragment of the Kael'thas key that you needed. So as you might expect, I did run the crap out of this. And oh look, more Eridar. Not the Eridar of Legion, just Eridar. And let's go ahead and enter into this next room, which is...
Why would I call on you?
To do your heavy lifting, most likely.
When I need someone to prance around like an overstuffed peacock, I'll call on you.
Then I'll commit myself to ignoring you.
What would you know about commitment, Sheetside?
You're the one who should be...
So this is actually one of the better rooms of the Arcatraz, because these two will constantly fight and bicker amongst each other. It is great. And they're in the same room, so you could just take them out. So let's go ahead and go into Stasis Block Maximus, which is where the Legion army is. And we're going to go ahead and kill Dahlia first. So Dahlia the Doomsayer, let's go into her lore really quick. Before she was imprisoned by the Naru, Dahlia was one of the most vicious and aggressive warriors within the Burning Legion, spending so much time as a cellmate to Wrathscryer Socrates, I think that's how you say it, did not improve her disposition either. Because she was arguing with him all the time. Yes, I know, you are. It is.
You come to kill Dahlia. Can I watch?
That's the other part that's really cool, is when you're engaging these guys, they're still bickering. Can you kill Dahlia? Can I watch you kill Dahlia? That'd be awesome. And if you start with him, then she'll start trash talking him from the in the distance. So let's go into Wrathscryer Socrates. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. It's pretty long. Millennia ago, Socrates held a position of honor among the Wrath Guards, standing at the side of the Burning Legion's top commanders. Confinement did not suit his considerable ego. Neither did his cellmate. And again, they would just... And in fact, I think if you beat her within a certain amount of time, he's like, oh, the relief. I don't have to deal with her anymore. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab that. And hey there, Dahlia. The Legion seeks only to consume. They hold no regard for the balance. Alright, and then Maximum Security Breakout. Harbinger Skyrus is the heart of the problem in the Arcatraz. He corrupted Warden Melikar and made him release many of the prisoners. It is only a matter of time before the Harbinger himself is let loose. Drakfu, you cannot let a servant of the old gods live. So yeah, now we're dealing with a servant of the old god. We dealt with the void, we dealt with the demons. Now we're dealing with the old gods. So let's go up here into the final maximum security block, where the Blood Elf Warden is letting out prisoners. So that's the problem. Like, this was a very secure ship until the Blood Elves took over. And they were susceptible to old god influence. That sucks. Oh, we don't care about you. Alright, so now we're going to go into the containment core, which is overrun by ethereals. Interesting. So this is another place where if you were trying to get ethereal rep, you could technically do that here. Oh, and look here. We have Udalo. People might remember the Black Temple quest that we need to do. We needed to seek out Udalo. So let's go ahead and check him out. Seer Udalo. The Ashtongue Seer has been long dead. As you turn over his body, you spot writing scrawled on the floor. Yeah, so he was in the Arcatraz. And he has unfortunately passed on. A mysterious portent. Before he died, Udalo appears to have written a single word on the floor beneath him. The writing is barely legible, but you recognize the word Atamal. Perhaps Akama will understand the meaning of his brethren's message. So, we will also turn this quest at the end of Dungeons of Drakfu. So, that's the cool part. It's like this was the start of like interconnecting quest lines, especially like with raids. And this goes into the Black Temple storyline. So we'll complete it as we go through these instances. And here is more influence as we enter the main maximum security core of the Arcatraz. And yes, I have a feeling this place was named for Alcatraz before people send me the question. I'm pretty sure that the name at least was inspired by Alcatraz. It is a prison after all, so it makes sense. Okay, we got one more demon to take care of, and then we can take on Warden Melikar. But before we do that, let's go into the lore of Harbinger Skyrus, the guy behind the guy. So Harbinger Skyrus. The Naru believed the persuasive voice of Harbinger Skyrus was silenced when they contained him and forced him into a long, dreamless sleep. The unfortunate warden of Arcatraz learned the Naru were wrong. Skyrus had just enough energy to speak to Warden Melikar in a still, small voice. Time took care of the rest. And so let's go ahead and take on Warden Melikar. You have to stop this!
Attack that target.
Oh no.
I knew the prince was hungry, but I have not been myself. I had to let them out. The Great One speaks to me, you see. Wait, outsiders. Kael'thas did not send you. Good. I'll just tell the prince you released the prisoners.
Somebody be crazy.
The Naru kept some of the most dangerous beings in existence here in these cells. Let me introduce you to another.
So this is basically the brunt of the encounter. You go through a gauntlet of the worst stuff that is in this prison, and then take on Harbinger Skyrus. Thankfully, though, it's not that bad.
Yes, yes, another. Your will is mine.
Okay, so here's the next one.
Behold, yet another terrifying creature of incomprehensible power.
Oh no! What could it be? A gnome?
Where in Bonzo's brass buttons am I? And who it... Oh, that is one mother of a headache.
Yep, boys and girls, the saga of Millhouse Manastorm began
A
here.
lowly gnome? I will do better, oh great one.
Lowly? I don't care who you are, friend. No one refers to the mighty Millhouse Manastorm as lowly.
I love
No idea
Millhouse.
what goes on here, but I will gladly join your fight against this impudent imbecile.
Anno,
Prepare to defend
oh,
yourself,
you are so
cretin.
wise. Yes, I see it now, of course.
I just need to get some things ready first. You guys go ahead and get started. Some of this water. Fantastic! Next, some protective spells.
I'm just gonna let this dialogue run.
Now we're cooking. And of course, I'll need some mana. You guys are gonna love this. Just wait. Who ordered up an extra large can of whoop ass?
I did! There we go.
Yes, sir. Right away.
And here is Skyrus' cell.
It is a small matter to control the mind of the weak, for I bear allegiance to powers untouched by time, unmoved by fate. No force on this world or beyond harbors the strength to bend our knee. Not even the mighty Legion.
Welcome, O Great One. I am your humble servant.
Bear witness to the agent of your demise.
Alright, so now we need to take out Skyrus.
We span the universe. As countless as the we span the universe. As countless as the stars.
There we go.
Merely one of
Very much he's an AQ clone, and he runs very much off of AQ, his counterpart's abilities. I'm gonna light you up, sweet cheeks.
who's bad? That's right. We bad.
Oh, breastplate of the bold. That's awesome. Cool. All right. So yes, this is the one. This is the instance. This is the time when the saga of Millhouse Manastorm began. He was one of the prisoners within the Arcatraz, and he'll come back later. I can guarantee you that he'll come back later. I'm not sure if he has an official appearance in Wrath of the Lich King, but he does in Cataclysm. And yep, he even has appearances in Legion where we actually let loose his, I think it's sister, Maleficent Manastorm. So there you go. This is when the saga of Millhouse Manastorm began. Let's go ahead and turn in the quest, though. Thank you, Drakfu. Your actions this day have prevented countless tragedies. I'm sure they have. There we go. So that actually finishes up the Arcatraz. Now we're going to do a quick magic cut while we fly back to the back to Shadowmoon Valley to inform Akama of Udalo's unfortunate demise. Okay, we are back in the prison of Maiev Shadowsong to continue the quest. So people might remember a while back, and I'll probably even put a link into it in the description, where I started up the Shadowmoon Valley in the Tale of Drakfu, and we started up these quests. And the quest that we got was to go and find Seer Udalo. Well, we found Udalo. It's not good news. So let's go ahead and meet with Akama and tell him the horrible news that his buddy Udalo has since passed on. So let's go ahead and go into the prison here. And here is Akama, where Maiev is. Oh, and Maiev wants to get out. Oh, this cell won't hold me for long.
We must
Akama.
never change.
Yes, of course. It all becomes clear now.
Yes, it does. So, the Atamal Terrace.
It has been known to us that the Felorks under Illidan's command have guarded an Atamal crystal known as the Heart of Fury at the Atamal Terrace. They cloud its presence with dark magic to keep it from the Shatar. Fight your way to the Atamal Terrace outside the Black Temple, and turn your eyes to the sky. Shadow Lord Deathwail will circle the terrace beyond your reach. You will have to slay him and his warlocks before you can obtain the crystal. It won't be easy, Drakfu. I wish you luck.
Light
All right.
guide you.
Now, here's the thing. Excuse me. I don't think we're going to continue on the questing for this just yet, because, again, this is Dungeons & Drakfu's, and it was dedicated to the Arcatraz. But I did want to show the result of finding Udalo. So we're going to put this on, and it's probably going to be like Arcatraz plus Black Temple stuff. But the rest of the questing, since it's going to require some other things, we're going to try and do Black Temple later on and finish up the lore with it, because I don't think it requires too many instances to go and do, but if it does, then we can easily get those done. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of Dungeons & Drakfu. So once again, I'm going to mark it like Arcatraz plus Black Temple stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for continuing to like, comment, subscribe to all of the content that I produce. And of course, I will see you guys next time for the next video.